Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We are going to start the proceedings. I'll ask that you all rise. We will have the academic procession led by the Rector, Prof. Wim de Villiers. Thank you. Good morning, goeiemorgen, molweni to our Rector, Professor Wim de Villiers, and our Dean, Professor Almi Miller, the Dean's management team, academic staff, support staff, and the Tygerberg Student Representative Council. And of course, to you, our first-year newcomers. We refer to you as Tiger Marties. That's your name. I'm Geirenisa van Flanke, the Manager of Student Affairs, and I am delighted to be the Master of Ceremonies today. I'm honored to welcome our first-year students and their parents who are watching from home to the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Students, I hope that in a very short space of time, you will come to think of the faculty and Tygerberg campus as your home. It is my honor to introduce our new Dean, Professor Almi Miller, who will offer the official welcoming address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are sharing an important first. The first time I welcome students in this faculty as the new Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. The first time that the person in front of you is actually a female, and also the first time that we are introducing students to our new curriculum. And as the new Dean of this faculty, this first-year group is very special to me. We will be sharing our firsts. Today is your first day at this faculty, and I want to share some of my excitement with you. I want to start by saying something personal. I'm a transplant surgeon with many years of clinical experience, both locally and internationally. And for the last few years, I've worked as a clinician and a manager in the healthcare sector in South Africa. First, as the divisional head of general surgery at Groote Hospital, and now as dean of this faculty. I think back today of the year 1990, when I was a first-year medical student, and that was at the University of Pretoria. I think about my expectations, my feelings on that day, the excitement I felt to start a career in the wonderful medical profession. Because choosing a degree in a healthcare science faculty is not really about choosing a degree, it is really about choosing a profession. Basically, you are choosing a career. I remember the apprehension I felt, some anxiety in terms of the practical skills that I will need to master. And later on in my life, when I did my first operation on my own, the remark of one of the consultants to me that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. It is a cliche, I know that, but it's also true. Medicine is a journey, it's a lifelong journey, and so fulfilling because of the people whose lives we change. People who would have died or suffered, but live a better quality of life because of our interventions, our operations, our research, our care. On a daily basis, we experience the joy and exhilaration in the immediacy of participating in a process that changes lives. The way I view the requirements to be a good healthcare worker is conditioned by this thing that I do when I step into theatre to perform surgery: teamwork, respect, compassion, empathy, delegation of functions, unambiguous leadership, systems thinking, peripheral awareness, critical focus on detail, technical skill, responsiveness, and predictability in a complex situation, accountability, and an outcome-based process of decision-making that measures process to outcome. These are the skills we want to teach you over the next few years. Change and transformation is a constant in the evolving tertiary education environment, but the COVID-19 pandemic has caused a structural break and reset of the way we think. In some instances, the pandemic has created new imperatives. In others, it has accelerated changes that had been underway for some time now. Whichever way one interprets these effects and ongoing aftershocks, COVID-19 has unambiguously confirmed the importance of the healthcare worker as a central strategic asset in our country and our major role to make a positive impact in society. In this kind of environment of meaningful impact and outstanding clinical work and research, our faculty was able to attract you, some really outstanding students. And you will be trained by some of the best healthcare professionals and researchers in this country. Education and training speaks directly to the core strategic teams of our faculty. Our new curriculum provides transformative student experience, purposeful partnerships, inclusive networks focusing on collaborative learning. You will develop into world-class practitioners or researchers in your chosen fields. You will become fluent on a spectrum of lateral thinking. We want to inspire you to become part of a university-wide inclusive network and partnership to tap into the large variety of teaching and learning opportunities. Our curricular change in medicine also anticipates the enhanced role of empathy and emotional intelligence in the world of ever-expanding machines and technology. Curriculum renewal is a constant process of ensuring that teaching and learning remains relevant and excellent. The Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is a teaching and training facility in a middle-income, developing country, which, according to the World Bank, has also happened to have one of the most unequal societies in the world. We are catering for the implications of this reality by ensuring that the human resource potential we shape and develop through our teaching and learning is optimally prepared for professional service delivery in the South African society. Today is also a day of note because of the participation of our Rector, Professor Wim de Villiers. Professor de Villiers is a medical professional and a gastroenterologist. He is a member of our faculty and also the most senior executive in our university. For me, it is a privilege that he is attending this ceremony today, and I know that it's going to make this day even more memorable for you. Professor de Villiers is a clinician at heart and has the well-being of this faculty and students as a central objective. His career spans over many years, starting at the same faculty as a first-year student and moving on into clinical practice both here and in the USA. It's a privilege for me to welcome him here today and ask him to also say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning to you all. Are you excited? Are you ready for this? Are you getting a bit of gees here, huh? Good. So thank you very much, Professor Muller, and welcome, a very, very warm welcome to all of you, to the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of Stellenbosch University and to the university as a whole. It's wonderful for me to be able to stand here this morning and do that. As Professor Miller said, I'm an alumnus of this faculty. I'm going to age myself a little bit. She said she was a first year in 1990. Is that right? Well, I was a first year here in 1978, so that's a long time ago. So, but I don't have to tell you what a roller coaster the past 2 years have been. Not only for you at high school, but also here at university. You know what it's been like. Your high school experience was really tough. Wasn't comparable to any of the experiences that recent generations have had. Ever-changing rules, ever-changing regulations, then you're back, then you're not back. It's really, really tough. But yet, here you are. Come on, a round of applause. You embraced the strangeness and uncertainty of lockdowns, online classes, isolation, social distancing, and other things we rarely thought possible before March 2020, and yet you rose to the challenge. So, but I don't want you to become too complacent and too self-satisfied about that. But I do want to tell you that getting accepted into Stellenbosch University is a very rare achievement, and I want to congratulate you on that. There are thousands of young people all over the country, all over the continent, and also in the world that dream of sitting where you are now. They dream of being here where you are now. So don't take this for granted. We've had a record number of applications for 2022. It's significantly increased from the previous year, and the university has limited space. But you made the cut. Wonderful. Congratulations once again. Be proud. Give yourselves a pat on the back. You've earned it. But stay humble and focused, because university may come a little bit as a shock. In the London Underground, there's a disembodied voice that tells you, mind the gap, mind the gap. Now, there's a huge gap between school and university. And I don't say this to scare you. I actually say it to motivate you, because we want to see you succeed and do even better than what's possible. So die sprong van hoërskool en universiteit is nie klein nie. En die werkslading is groter en selfstandigheid gaan getoets word. Maar we have full confidence in you. We wouldn't have accepted you. You're not here because we fully expect you to be able to master all these challenges. You all have specific skills and talents that you bring to the table, and that's why you were chosen. We're eager to see your contribution, not only to the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, but also to the university as a whole. Because I truly believe that today is a start of a journey for you where this is a place where you can see and where you can make your dreams come true. The dreams that I had when I started off in 1978, many, many moons ago, as a first year. And I want you to take a little moment, just to think a little bit, to reflect, and to consider your hopes, your individual dreams at the start of this journey. And think about how you're going to achieve that. But then also think about our dreams as a university, as a community, a place where, according to our vision statement, we advance knowledge in service of society. We advance knowledge in service of society. A place where we improve people's lives. What a wonderful thing to be able to do and to aspire to. Where we are inclusive and innovative. And all of you have a part in achieving this. All of you. And throughout the year, as the work piles up and your dreams seem to fade, or you don't feel successful, or simply start feeling overwhelmed, as will happen, this quote from Madiba, from Nelson Mandela, might guide you in the right direction. The glory of living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time you fail. So take every day, every class, every exam as it arrives, and take small steps, celebrate the little victories, and then keep going. Or in the words of an American college president, 3 things. Do your best, be your best, no regrets. Be your best, do your best, no regrets. And remember that in this journey and on this journey, you're not alone. We've got extended networks that can help support you. We've got student leaders, we've got a division for student affairs. They're there to help you. From the private student organizations, your residents, to the lecturers, to the other staff and your faculty and the administrative units of the university, we are there to help you. We want you to succeed. This university has a very, very impressive success rates for both throughput and graduation. So please, don't hesitate to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. As the Dean has alluded to, this faculty has played an enormous part in the past in building and in sustaining thriving modern societies, and especially during the past 2 years, during this terrible global pandemic, medical professions and professionals and this faculty have contributed significantly to this advance in knowledge in service of society. And you're part of this now. Isn't it wonderful? You're part of this new generation of medical professions who are now entering this system in a world that's changing drastically. So embrace it. See it as an opportunity to gain exciting new knowledge. I've recently been thinking about what makes a place special. In Stellenbosch University's case, is it the buildings, the physical space, this space? Is it our achievements, innovative ideas, academic success, or the people? Those who've worked here for decades, or new staff, new students, returning students. And I think we've come to the realization of these past 2 years, it's actually a combination of all. The pandemic has robbed us of some of these aspects. Being in the physical spaces, being in the sense of togetherness. But hopefully 2022 will be a year where you will be able to get the full Stellenbosch University experience. I'm very hopeful of that, because it is an experience that allows you to go beyond what you think you already know. So when I ask you, you've got to study and work hard, do your best, but also be your best. Explore other things, explore interesting societies, make friends that will broaden your horizons, and choose a student experience that will transform you. You are not going to be the same person at the end of this year or in a few months than what you are now. And it's there for the taking. But then one very important rule or piece of advice from my side is vaccinate. No jab, no jaw. No jab, no jaw. I really want to tell you that you're in great hands with our new dean, Professor Almi Miller. There's a wonderful leadership team that helps to take this faculty forward, and I wish her all the very best. Our slogan is Forward Together, Saam Vorentoe, Sonke Siya Pambile. And that's exactly what I want us to do. We stand together and we go forward together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Wim de Villiers, for that warm speech. Guests kindly note that the rector may need to leave early by a few minutes, but he's been with us from the beginning, and we really appreciate that because he's our special guest today. We ordinarily don't have the rector here, and that's very, very special. A few years ago, Mr. Woody Ravutsi sat in your seats as a first-year student in the faculty. Today, it is my honor to introduce him as the chairperson of the Tygerberg Student Representative Council.
Ndimacheroni, Ausheni, Molweni, Kgoemora, Dumela, Thobela, Sanbonani, Lochani. Good morning. My name is Wudera Wutsi, and I'm the chairperson of the Tygerberg Student Representative Council. And I would like to first introduce my council at large. Firstly, Karen Kamwanya Kalombo, the Tygerberg Student Representative Council Vice Chairperson. Vanessa Anan, the Secretary in absentia. Zanele Ngamagele, the Financial Manager. Anandi David, Student Community Needs. Keaton Harris, Student Facility Needs and Policy Officer. Catherine Byrne, Student Wellness. Zahra Moedin, Student Development. Wandi Lemkele, Sports, in absentia. Jamie Lee Daniels, Tygerberg Prim Committee Chairperson, in absentia. Jessica Davis, TAAC Chairperson. Marizanne van Dijk, Tygerberg Society's Council Chairperson. Francis Adwa Mankwa, Tygerberg Postgraduate Student Council Chairperson, in absentia. Annele Madia, Culture, in absentia. Isabella Turner, Green and Sustainability. Asipesande Juleka, Kopano and Prestige. Kim Stoffels, Social Justice. And lastly, Cherise de Klerk, Strategic Communication. It is such an honor to welcome you to Stellenbosch University's Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences this morning. Let me tell you a little bit about who is standing in front of you today. I grew up in a village called Zimauli, Chibvumo, in the upper border of Limpopo province, in a region called Venda. That is where I spent 18 years of my life in circumstances completely different from the Western Cape. 4 years ago, I was sitting on one of those aisle seats, listening to the inspiring words of the then chairperson of the Tygerberg Student Representative Council, Dr. Tavares Naika. That memory is a little bit faint, but I don't think I'll ever forget the rush of both excitement and anxiety that was going through me as I sat and listened to the Dean welcome me into a new, completely different, challenging, fulfilling, and exciting chapter of my life, that is med school. You can imagine the leap I had to take to transition from village life to this environment, and to make matters worse, 2,000 kilometers away from home. It was anything but easy. Sharing a living space with someone I had just met, interacting with people from different walks of life, with different values and worldviews from mine, I was definitely out of my comfort zone. That was coupled with a lot of learning and unlearning, and now when I look back, I can see how impactful that process was in morphing me into the person I am today. I encourage each and every one of you to welcome this experience of change, to allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone, to open yourself up to interactions with people around you, and to keep an open mind. Many people will argue that you are in the best years of your lives. Some will say life truly begins at 40, but whatever philosophy you subscribe to, make sure that you enjoy the journey and you trust the process. You will make mistakes. You won't always get it right. There will always, and I mean there will always, be a consultant who will ask you questions whose answers you have no idea of. But press on. That is why you are termed a student. You're here to study, to learn, to gain competencies in and out of the class. Again, make sure you enjoy it. Tygerberg prides itself in producing top-shelf health professionals who are well-rounded and holistic. That is you. That is the people sitting around you. Engage with each other. Get involved. Harvest each other's talents and capabilities, and you'll find fulfillment in your time here. Do, however, remember to take time out for yourself. Take care of yourself. That is also a learning curve that takes patience. The wellness wheel has about 8 domains. Be cognizant of all of them. Pay attention to all spheres of your well-being. Find healthy coping mechanisms that work for you, whatever form or shape that might take. We are all guilty of binge-watching series and watching anime and eating comfort food. Procrastination is an enemy we all have to fight. Fight. Reach out for help when you need it. That is a crucial skill to learn. It will get tough. Things will get a bit difficult, but learn to reach out for help. There are mechanisms designed for you to utilize. Make use of them. In the midst of all those exciting things I mentioned, there's one thing I would like you to hold dear to your heart. Do not forget your identity. It is very easy to lose sight of who you are, trying to fit in with the rest of the group. And although reinvention and growth are pivotal, your identity remains something you should be proud of. I'm proud of my background. I'm proud of my identity. You have just walked into a diverse environment, and how beautiful it is to see a recipe of rich and proud identities and cultures. I walked in here bilingual. Today, I'm able to hold conversations in 7 different South African languages. Explore, learn, talk, engage, and ask. There's so much out there for you. With that said, I want to leave you with these words. The best way to predict your future is to create it. I wish you all the best for your academic careers and personal lives. Welcome to Stellenbosch University's Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. I thank you. Nda.
Thank you, Mr. Davutsi, for that enthusiastic welcome. I know that our students really appreciate having their leader right here and all of the leaders on the stage as well, being here for them. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Therese Fish. She is the Vice Dean of Clinical Services and Social Impact, and she will introduce the undergraduate commitment reading. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you. Good morning. So I'm going to ask all of those who are first-year students to stand because you've been sitting too long now. So let's see where our first-year students are. Wow, what a big number. Welcome to all of you. You may be seated. So it's been a challenging 2 years, as Prof. de Villiers has said, as you've navigated the final 2 years of schooling in the midst of the COVID pandemic. 2 months ago, many of you were writing your grade 12 exams, and today you join one of the premium health sciences faculties in the country. You had lots of choice. There are 10 faculties of there's 10 faculties of medicine and 23 that also have health sciences. But you chose the best. So congratulations for making that choice. So I want you to imagine that in 4 to 6 years' time, you will graduate from our university as health professionals. But much will happen between then and now. And we've got some very important people here today who are going to help you navigate the journey. So I'm going to ask the various program leads, as I mention your name, to stand so that you know who the go-to person is for your program. So we have Janet Bell, who's our important program lead for nursing and midwifery. Yvette van Niekerk. She's the program lead for nutrition. Leonie Williams, physiotherapy. And then Leanne Jacobs and Zuzu Kuabai, who's the lead for OT. Faiza Bardin, speech, hearing, and language therapy. And last but not least, Derek van Vieren, the MBCHB coordinator. And then we also have two of our equality champions, Leanne, Lazan, and Mandy, who are also there to support our students and our staff. So we have many people, as Prof. Muller has indicated, who will support you during your journey. So as part of the ceremony in 4 to 6 years' time, around the time you will graduate, you will read a pledge. Now, many of you know about the Hippocratic Oath. And over time, it has been modernized in the context, as the context of health and healthcare has changed across the world. Now, for us as health professionals, the pledge is important as it guides our behavior as professionals and espouses our values. So many oaths and pledges include aspects of respecting confidentiality, doing no harm, upholding the profession's integrity, collaboration, and working together as teams. And internationally, many health sciences faculties and medical schools also have a commencement oath or pledge, which is used to guide students on their pathway through their training. Now, you will know, just reading the newspapers, watching television, that all is not well in the health sector. The last 2 years have been particularly challenging, and we've seen the heroics of our health professionals during the pandemic, saving lives and often losing their own. Colleagues had worked tirelessly, but at the same time, we have seen many health professionals spreading fake news about the pandemic, practicing medicine that is non-evidence-based, and being involved in corrupt behaviors. It is our responsibility as a health sciences faculty to guide you in order that you develop into competent, confident, and caring health professionals who will practice evidence-based health care. Professor de Villiers already reminded you about the strategy that we have at the university, and particularly our faculty, of vaccinating all our staff and students. But we will discuss that at another time and another place. So since 2018, 3 important events happened in our faculty. So in 2018, for the first time in the history of our faculty, our first-year students made an entry commitment, which is what you're going to be doing later today. Secondly, at the end of that same year, our graduates, in front of their parents, teachers, and loved ones, made an interprofessional pledge. And that was important for us because previously we had 6 different pledges or oaths. And so we want to work as multidisciplinary teams. And so we developed an interprofessional pledge. And then finally, in 2019, we as a faculty launched our faculty charter. It is across the entrance in the education building. Please read it and reflect on what it means for us and yourselves as budding health professionals. So we're very excited to welcome you today. We had thought that we'd ask the first years as a collective to read the commitment at this welcoming and declare in front of each other how you intend to behave as a health professional student. But our bubble was burst. The very senior students sitting in front of us and our current students said, no, Dr. Fish, the students, the first years are tired. They've been jawling and doing all fun, other things around orientation. They're not focused on an entry commitment for today. So we thought we'd think of something else to do. So recognizing that we have 11 official language and sign language for our deaf community, respecting that today you enter our faculty from many different walks of life and linguistics background, honoring one of the values of our faculty of inclusivity, and drawing from the rich experience of how our anthem of our country was developed and is now sung, we have asked some of our current students, and they're all lined up now, to read the commitment in our 11 official languages. So the commitment is not that long, and we had to give equal airtime to all the languages, so we will read it more than once, and we will end it in English. Then later, when you start your academic program, the dean or one of her delegates will also ask you to declare it as the class of 2022. So our commitment is available on the website in all the 11 languages. Please share it with your family and friends. Read it regularly when things get tough, and hold each other and us to account in terms of the values in the commitment. I now ask all our first-year students to stand in silence and listen to the reading of the commitment by our various current students.
Xitsonga. Tanihiloko ndzi nghena eka nkarhi wa mina wa vuleteri eka faculty ya vudokodela na tisayense ta rihanyo ya Yunivhesiti ya Stellenbosch, ndza tiboha eka maendlelo yo kula ndzi va muhlayisi wa rihanyo loyi a hloniphaka vutomi, ndzi tihlayisa na ku hanyisana na van'wana hi xindzhuti, ku tshembeka na ntwela vusiwana.
IsiXhosa. Ndiya kuzixabisa into endiyiyo nendiya kuba yiyo. Kangangoko ndixabisa oko abanye bakuko noko baya kuba kuko. Ndiya kuphanda ndize ndixhathise nayiphi na imibono nezenzo ezidala iyantlukwano. Ndize ngalo lonke ixesha ndikhuthaze umanyano, ukucingelana kunye nokulungisa.
Setswana. Mo lefatsheng la di-science tsa boitekanelo le le fetogang ka bonako, nna ke tla nna moithuti yo o batlang go itse le yo o nang le boitlhamedi. Ke tlotla dipono tse di farologaneng tsa lefatshe, megopolo, dikakanyo le ditharabololo tse di leng botlhokwa thata mo balwetseng le mo setšhabeng.
Tshivenda. Ndi ḓo shuma na vhagudiswa vhane vha bva kha dziṅwe phurofesheni dza mutakalo sa vhashumisani vhane ra lingana u ṱuṱuwedza vhukoni na ndondolo ya zwa mutakalo. Ndi ḓikumedzela u vha muḓisa tshanduko, u shuma na vhaṅwe, u vha ṱuṱuwedza nga nḓila yavhuḓi kha vhupo hashu ha u gudela na tshenzhemo ya ndondolo ya zwa mutakalo na mvelele dza avho vhane ra vha shumela.
IsiZulu. Okugcina, ngiyasamukela isibopho sami sokwakha ingomuso elisimeme futhi eliqhakazile kithina sonke ngokusebenzisa izinsiza ngokucophelela, ngobuchule nangobuhlakani. Lesi sibophezelo ngisenza ngokukhuleka, ngentando yami futhi ngobuqotho.
IsiNdebele. Njengombana ngingena nesikhathini sami sokubandulwa emkhakheni wemisebenzi yenhlahla kanye nezamaphilo e-University of-Stellenbosch. Ngizibophelela endleleni yekambiso ukubana ngikhule ngibe mhlogomeli wezamaphilo professionally nohlonipha impilo. Osihlogomelako nothindana nabanye abantu ngokubahlonipha, ngokuthembeka nangokubaswela.
Afrikaans. Ek ag myself na waarde vir wie ek is en kan wees. Net soos dat ek ander na waarde ag vir wie hulle is en kan wees. Ek onderneem om enige idees en praktyke wat kan verdeel te bevraagteken en teen te staan. En ek sal voortdurend daarna streef om inklusiwiteit, regverdigheid en geregtigheid te bevorder.
Siswati. Kulomkhakha wetema science etempilo lokuguquka ngekusheshsha ngitawuhlala ngingumfundzi lofuna kwati naloticambelako lohlonipha imibono lehlukahlukene yemhlaba imicondvo lokucuketfwe netisombululo letibaluleke kutigulane nemimango.
Sepedi. Ke tla šoma le barutwana ba go tšwa di-professioneng tše dingwe tša maphelo bjale ka balekane ntweng ya go lwela bokgoni bja go felela tlhokomelong ya maphelo. Ke itlama go ba morongwa wa phetogo ka go šoma le ba bangwe go hlohleletša tigolo ya rena ya thuto, maitemogelo a maphelo le dipoelo tša bao re ba direlago.
Sesotho, qetellong ke amohela boikarabelo ba ka ho thusa ho aha bokamoso bona le tshwarello bakeng sa rona bohle ka ho sebedisa disebediswa ka hloko, boiqapelo le bohlwahlwa. Ke etsa boitlamo bona ka bolokolohi le ka nnete.
English. As I enter my period of training at Stellenbosch University's Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, I commit to the process of growing into a healthcare professional who respects life, cares for myself, and relates to others with dignity, integrity, and compassion. I shall value who I am and can become, as much as I value others for who they are and can become. I shall question and resist any ideas and practices which divide and strive at all times to promote inclusivity, fairness, and justice. In the fast-changing world of health sciences, I shall remain a curious and creative learner, respecting diverse ideologies, ideas, contexts, and solutions which matter most to patients and communities. I shall work with learners from other health professions as equal partners in striving for excellence in healthcare. I commit to being an agent of change, working with others to positively influence our learning environment, as well as the healthcare experiences and outcomes of those we serve. Finally, I accept my responsibility to help build a sustainable future for us all, while using resources with care, creativity, and diligence. I make this commitment freely and sincerely.
You may be seated. Thank you very much, Dr. Fish, undergraduate commitment readers, and our TSRC chairperson for the stunning display of our country's diversity and inclusivity. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you our faculty management. You've already met our Dean, Prof. Almi Miller. Also, Ms. Farah Fredericks, the Deputy Registrar. Professor Karen Barches, the Vice Dean of Learning and Teaching. You've already met Dr. Fish. Then Professor Nico G. van Pittius, the Vice Dean of Learning and Internationalization and Research. Thank you so much. These are key stakeholders in terms of our leadership, taking our faculty forward. Thank you so much for your commitment to our faculty. Thank you, ESCOM. That means load shedding has ended. In terms of the logistics of the program for the rest of the day, you've received copies of the program, but I do have a few updates to share with you. Kindly note that this event has been recorded for the... Thank you so much to our Rector. Kindly note that this event has been recorded for your parents to access on our faculty's YouTube page within 24 hours. At 10:45, there will be a meeting of the new students and their respective program coordinators. Please see your program for the venues. At 11:30, please visit the Student Society's exhibition if you're not involved in any other sessions. At 11:45, our occupational therapy as well as our speech, language, and hearing therapy students shall return to the Stellenbosch campus with the buses that are parked in front of the building. Also at 11:45, the Oslo, which is the name for our commuter students, will meet with the Oslo committee members in Lecture Hall 12 in the Education Building. At 1 o'clock, there's a virtual student support session for all the parents of the first years. You would have received an email on the 1st of February. Please share the MS Teams link with your parents. You will also have a student support session, but that will be on the 9th of February. At 3:30, all the rest of the students will depart with buses to the Danie Craven Stadium at the Stellenbosch campus for the official Rector's welcome. Kindly note that there's a virtual campus tour. The link is in your program. Your program, the full program for all of the 10 days that you will have this orientation, is available on the website. Kindly respect our environment by removing all the programs, everything you brought with you, and disposing of empty bottles in the bins provided. But most importantly, this is really key, respect yourself, have fun, study hard, and enjoy the welcoming program as well as your whole year. Please give yourselves a huge round of applause. Thank you.
Welcome to Stellenbosch University's Faculty of Medicine and Health Science. Thousands of medicine and health science professionals have passed through our doors since our establishment in 1956, and we have since become one of the leading health science faculties in Africa. One of our primary goals as a faculty is to develop future health professionals who, through innovation and leadership, will promote health and prevent disease and provide optimal health care. The Faculty of Medicine and Health Science has a diverse student body of more than 4,300 undergraduate and postgraduate students. It employs more than 1,400 individuals who work for Stellenbosch University, the Western Cape Government, and other partner employers. Our faculty is home to 15 academic departments, which in turn host 17 centers, bureaus, and institutes. Our undergraduate academic offering includes degrees in medicine, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech, language, and hearing therapy, nursing, and dietetics. We also offer master's and doctoral programs in all disciplines, including sports science programs. Our campus, situated adjacent Tygerberg Hospital, is South Africa's first smoke and tobacco-free campus. We currently find ourselves outside the clinical building, which is one of 4 main buildings of activity here at Tygerberg campus. In this building, you will find our academic administration corridor, which includes student support, card registration and cashiers, bursaries and loans, exam results, and the faculty secretariat, as well as the doctoral office. The clinical building also houses offices of the Dean, the Senior Director of Business Management, and the Vice Deans of Learning and Teaching, Research and Clinical Service, and Social Impact.
At this faculty, we have made it our mission to facilitate transformative lifelong learning. Our values are inclusivity, compassion, accountability, respect, excellence, and equity. We recognize these values in every action here at our faculty, which is why we have the preamble to South Africa's constitution mounted in English, Afrikaans, and isiXhosa on our wall. By mounting these plaques here, we recognize that this faculty doesn't exist in isolation and is in fact a microcosm of the broader South African society with people from different races, religion, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientation, political persuasions, and socio-economic statuses. These values presented to us in the Constitution have relevance about how we should be interacting with each other.
We now found ourselves at the Simulation and Clinical Skills Unit. Clinical skills refers to those applied professional skills that are necessary in encounters with patients. These skills cover a wide variety of topics, ranging from correctly taking a medical history, performing an abdominal scan, interpreting a urine sample, conducting counseling sessions, and suturing a wound. These skills are acquired by means of training, and depending on the teaching goal, different training formats can be chosen. This unit participates in a number of educational research projects with the aim of improving teaching, learning, and assessment practices. Research regarding medical students' teaching experiences in the Clinical Skills Lab showed that students felt sessions improved their confidence and empowered them to perform the procedures taught in the clinical environment.
The Medicine and Health Sciences Library is one of the 5 branch libraries of the SU Library and Information Service, and it is situated in the education block of the FMHS. This 3,000 meter squared library has been entirely refurbished and is now an ultra-modern facility with innovative spaces for collaborative learning and research, and boasts state-of-the-art video conferencing and e-classroom amenities. The library served primarily the researchers, lecturers, staff, and registered students of the faculty, but also other client categories. The library also contributes to the mission of the Library and Information Service by providing a world-class and innovative information service and learning spaces to primarily the Tygerberg campus community. Students have access to the university network, all their learning materials on the Sunlearn and podcast servers, as well as high internet speed access through the countrywide Tenet fiber optic network.
This faculty is a self-driven hub of global excellence in many areas and has been the launch pad for a number of groundbreaking medical and health science initiatives. We are widely recognized for our world-class research on high-priority conditions in Africa, such as tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, and neuropsychiatric disorders. The Biomedical Research Institute, which is still in construction, will be dedicated to understanding diseases that have the greatest impact on communities in South Africa and the rest of Africa. This 1 billion rand facility, which will be completed in 2022, will be one of the most innovative and advanced biomedical research centers in Africa. The Biomedical Research Institute is set to significantly advance our capacity to undertake world-class research on the leading health problems affecting our people. It will also contribute considerably to building research capacity in the African region.
The Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences strives to build an institutional culture that welcomes, develops, and supports a diverse body of students and staff. Our charter, which is mounted behind me, is a living document that guides our values, behaviors, and responsibilities as we continually strive to be a place that celebrates diversity in all its forms and ensures that all individuals here enjoy a sense of belonging.
The TSS is home to a number of convenience stores and stops on our campus. These include the cafeteria, as well as a shop that sells halal food, the gym and access to our campus swimming pool, visitors accommodation, Van Skyke's store for books and supplies, a Muslim prayer room, a convenience store, the TSR shop for scrubs and other equipment, campus health services, a music room, the sports hall, where we also host events like our welcoming and pledge ceremonies, the societies room. We have approximately 40 different types of societies to which you can belong on our campus, the TSR office, Marty's Community Service Office, and sports offices.
Accommodation is available in 6 university residences on the Tygerberg campus, namely Hippocrates, Hayes Fancy Van Sale, Enkanyini, Mirhoff, Ubuntu House, and Nkosi Johnson House. There is also the private student organization called OSLA. Behind me is a swing, netball, and tennis courts. Thank you for joining us on this tour of some of the highlights of our campus.
We are aware of the immense challenges and inequities that remain in our healthcare system.
Yet we are pleased that we are continuing to make a meaningful contribution to improving the health of our nation.
We hope you will join us on our journey towards playing a leading role in transforming healthcare in South Africa and beyond.